Brr, yeah, let it
Yeah.
run.
Do you need a
Rolling
test?
live.
Do you need a test?
Welcome
live.
to Free Candy,
First
episode
podcast.
1.
Episode 1.
We are hanging out at Sunbreak. This is unconventional tailgating. This is as unconventional as it gets.
Unconventional, non-traditional, fully spirited, fully sent.
Listen, I'm Rich Brown.
I'm Josh Letzinger.
I guess Ethan.
Ethan's our guest today.
Our guest, Ethan.
Ethan Barley, a.k.a. Little Grain, a.k.a. GQ, a.k.a. my man.
Yeah, there's going to be some background noise. There's going to be some music, some Frisbee games. Let's jump right into it. Ethan, let's get to know you, man. What are we doing here? What brings you to 60 Acres Park in Seattle?
Redmond, Washington. Literally, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been to Potlatch once before. It was fun. So just figured get hammered for a weekend, see cool people.
There's a lot of drinking.
Tent camping?
Tent camping, yeah.
Did you bring your own tent, or did you join in with someone?
No, I brought my own tent.
Tent-wise.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I got all my own tent space. How are you guys?
On the plane?
Huh?
Brought your tent on the plane?
Yeah. I just checked it. Are you tenting with people, or what's your deal?
Got a 2-person tent directly behind our camera here.
Oh, okay.
Dragged it up from Boise, Idaho.
Amen.
And all 3 of us happen to be Frisbee players, but this is our first Sunbreak. Everybody's first Sunbreak.
It's technically everyone's first sunbreak, yeah.
Maybe you should explain, I guess, what sunbreak is, or potlatch.
That's fair. So this is actually Rich's first Redmond, Washington tournament, correct?
Correct.
Oh, nice.
Sunbreak, aka Potlatch, started many years ago. I actually don't know any of the facts or data, but it did start before. It did start before this year. It started as like the Disc Northwest party tournament. I like to describe it as the Burning Man of Ultimate because we've got a bunch of different groups congregating together to share like a common thing or a theme. I have yet to go up to someone and say like, how much for this? It's a very like free giving, free loving. You're welcome to be yourself.
It's commune.
It's a commune, and you can. No one's gonna come up to you and say like. And I actually was talking about with Gordy the other day, talking about this. I was saying, like, it's beautiful because you dress up as a theme or as a costume, which immediately breaks that barrier of, like, that initial judgment of, I'm going to, judge you based off of what you're wearing.
Exactly.
So, like, everybody's wearing something different, something cool, something interesting. And it's like, well... So that's not the first thing that you think because you're also in that same position. So you have to actually engage.
Right. What's this person's social status?
Yeah.
What are they like?
Shit's out the window,
Are
right?
they liberal? Are they conservative? Are they uptight? You can usually guess that by seeing somebody walk around downtown. But if you're dressed like an idiot like I am right now.
Like everybody else. Yeah. It's like, that's out the window. You have to engage in order to know someone, which I think is beautiful.
Field.
You've been to Burning Man.
Yeah, I have. It is kind of similar to this. Everyone just does like their own weird little things.
Yeah, is that almost like if someone who's been to Burning Man, is that like a sacrilegious comparison? Is this nothing close to Burning Man actually?
No, I think like there's some more like ideas. Like everyone's kind of like contributing their own weird little like spirit game. So it's kind of like a good way to mingle with strangers, that kind of thing.
What our camera doesn't show right now, we're surrounded by what must be, there's about 1,600 people at this. There's 80 teams, roughly 20 apiece. There's literally thousands of people behind us.
Yeah.
And everybody.
And one food truck.
There's a shirtless guy over here. There's people with pasties on over here. I mean, it's a different environment for sure. I heard somebody say this morning, I loved it, where they're like, the laws of America do not apply within
this
the border
60 acres.
of this park right now. It definitely becomes a little bit weird.
And like it's such a freeing way, though. You know?
But I've not been to Burning Man. Should we go? Should our viewers go?
100%. I have not been either. I'm seriously considering it still this year.
You should definitely go. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I feel like if you go once, anyone's gonna have a good time. You know, you just as long as you're cool camping. So.
What was your experience like? Are you allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing like crazy. You just like go from everyone kind of like sets up their own.
You're allowed
thing.
to talk about it like secret fucking society sort of stuff.
It's like a
So
frisbee
tell me
golf
about the
course.
Freemasons. Like what?
We sacrifice a goat. 4th Tuesday of every month.
All right, well.
Goats are expensive.
What if there's yeah. We can't do it every week, okay? Goats are expensive. God, we're not made of money.
Yeah.
But Burning Man, like, had you wanted to do that for a long time?
Yeah, I just got out of school and I was like, I don't know, I made a list of like
Now's the time.
stupid like summer like goals.
It's not stupid.
Well, I mean, I was just like, there was everything on there. Like, kind of
What
whenever
else is on the list?
Well, whenever I did that, I was about to move out of Los Angeles, so it was mostly like weird Los Angeles stuff that while I'd been living there, I hadn't taken the time to do. You know, you go to like weird landmarks or
Yeah.
like I don't know if you guys heard Watts Tower. It's some dude who just built these weird towers out of random scrap stuff. And he spent like
Pretty cool.
30 years doing it. And it's just like, oh, I've never seen that. I might as well like while I'm in town go like check it
Worth
out.
it? Like, was 30 years of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that was on the list, and so that's how I started going. And
That was number one.
yeah. And so after
Honor this man's life work
Architectural
for a second.
ingenuity, like.
Number 2, Burning Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I don't know, we just went for the first time and I didn't even know what to expect. So I was like, oh, this is kind of crazy. And then I kept on going for a couple years after that.
Yeah.
So you've been multiple times.
Yeah. So last year was the 5th year. I don't think I'm going to go again anytime soon just because it's kind of hard to take all your time off to do something like that. But
Right.
It's commitment. Yeah.
I mean, Frisbee's the same way, right? You have to, like, make sure if you're
Yeah.
gonna
2 times a
do it
week
in
practice, once a weekend every month for tournaments.
There was a lot of mystery and like myths about Burning Man. It's kind of like this. If you haven't been, or if you just looked it up online, there's all this like stigma around what goes on, and it's supposed to be like this exclusive thing you don't know about. That was kind of how this tournament, what used to be Potlatch, now Sunbreak. That's how it kind of was for me. It was like a once, like, you gotta check it off at some point.
Yeah.
too.
And Letzinger sends me the message about, hey, there's a spot, there's a team, let's do it.
Let's do it. Send it.
That was an instant yes. Because the bid system, people don't know that there are 80 teams here, but there are hundreds of teams that are on a wait list that are sending
totally.
in videos and applications. They have to write essays on how they contribute to Ultimate Community in order to get here. And
I'm actually really curious to see that document for our team.
you will be able to say we contribute to the Ultimate Community by putting out a high-profile podcast about it.
Exactly. So, I mean, this is our lock-in for every year we want.
Sending this video
Every year.
in.
We're going to send it every single year. We're going to be back. We're going to continue to contribute to
100%.
the community that is Ultimate.
And it seems like the most important aspect of being out here is attitude.
Totally.
It's just being on the right page.
We were having that conversation earlier. It's, we brought, some teams bring dance floors and like super awesome
Like light up
things. I saw the Eye of Sauron at some point.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Seen towers. Like, I've seen a lot of things, and we brought nothing to that extent.
Right.
But
We've got Vicky back here.
We've got Vicky, we've got Leonard, we've got a Kwofsky, a Shotsky, more beer than anyone could ever want in one sitting.
And then we just brought us.
But what we've done is we've brought the party. So if people create these awesome, huge things, these sculptures that have honestly on par with, I would consider, the 7 wonders of the modern world. Like, this is a collaborative, like, this event is like a single, like, one of the 7 wonders is the entirety of the event. Like, everything combined into one is considered one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. Anyways, but we bring the party. Someone has to go to enjoy those things.
Right.
Someone has to go to experience that and then be able to say the next morning, man, I feel like total garbage. I feel like a piece of space trash landed on the planet, created a meteor, and then someone dumped trash into that, and then someone woke up on that pile of meteor space trash.
It lost me a couple layers back.
But then you wake up and you feel that and you go and enjoy it again. You do the same thing night after night after night, and then...
Yeah, all right. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I was just really deep in thought right there, but I'm clocking out. But that's how I feel, and that's I'm ready to go for round 2.
Good.
Like, I
So
want to
you're
feel like
currently
space
on
trash.
The space trash? Or you just woke up?
No. I'm at the point where I see that space trash meteor coming down,
Okay.
and that's like, man, that was interesting. I'm going to go check that out. You know,
okay.
so I'm gonna
The
go.
curiosity, the wonder.
Yeah, exactly. The mystique, the aura of exclusivity, just the true human desire to adventure and see something new and be something new, because monotony just gets so monotonous.
Okay, trailing off a little bit on the jaded
I'm
side right
going,
now.
yeah.
That's all right. Let's go back to our guests for a
Let's take it
minute.
back, yeah.
So this is Sunbreak, obviously. What are your other? You have other ultimate goals? You play ultimate other places besides here, right?
I've been playing at league and stuff in DC, but I haven't been playing club as much anymore.
Washington D.C. Did you fly out from Washington D.C. to this?
Yes, yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
Well,
Talk about commitment, yeah. Oh,
Also heard there's a
like-
team from Guam
Go get a
here.
drink.
Oh, team from Guam.
Yeah,
Are
there's
you
a
a
team
beer?
from Guam.
Well, man, yeah, I drink somewhere.
Oh shit.
Don't
This
worry
might
about
have liquor in it.
Isn't that cooler?
This might have some gin in it. Try it
Okay,
out.
well,
Let
we'll
us
just
know.
See how that
Give it a
goes.
sniff first. Just give it a quick check. Is that Ginny?
I think it's just
Just Powerade?
Goat juice.
Gatorade? Goat juice. There's a jar of peanut butter. That actually probably has Fireball in it. The Disc Northwest thing.
not too worried about it. I'm good. All right, so you're playing in
All right.
DC. What's your connection to the team here? Because the team you're on, Salt Lake City, Boise,
Portland.
Yeah, so I'm
now
out of
DC.
Salt Lake.
Seattle,
pretty much.
Michigan.
Yeah, I played for University of Utah with
Oh, okay.
Josh and all and those guys and stuff.
There it is.
Let's
It's
go
like,
Utes.
It's a fun tournament. Cool people. We'll just come
Okay, so
hang
in
out
another
together.
sense, this tournament serves as like a family reunion for 30 different families who all want to come here and play frisbee against
That's
each other.
effectively what it is.
That's
yeah.
another good point out.
We have a couple of different little groups coming together and for our team, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool.
I think what's exciting about that is that it's basically like a series of hubs. What makes things super interesting is that it's like, I know you, I know my Boise people, I know one person from Portland, but then it's like you've got Portland, Seattle, Boise, and like there's a combination of like old friends and then total strangers that you've never met, which adds like excitement and comfort and everything into one. It's like a full spectrum of emotions.
And you guys play together in Boise, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we played together in Boise.
And play together.
It was actually Rich's coach last
So
year.
we are. This
Oh.
episode is unique. One, because it's our first. Two, because it
That is
might be
unique.
total trash. And
3, because it might be our last.
it
And then
might
4.
be. but for the fourth reason that it's unique is that it's not just tailgating right now.
No.
We're participating in this thing.
Is a participation. Fully
The
participatory.
plan for
Participatory.
free candy is to take the van. We don't even have the van shown right now, but there's going to be a whole intro clip, hopefully.
Got a ton of B-roll, dude. We're good.
B-roll,
We're good.
Loading up the van to get here.
Yeah.
All right. Then we're going to be taking that van everywhere, talking to people about their event that we don't know anything about.
Non-traditional tailgating.
This
yeah.
one's kind of unique that we know a lot about this.
Yeah.
It's obviously a ridiculous scene.
Well, you gotta-
maybe
you gotta
we
start with
change
what
it
you
up,
know.
Get some footage of us talking and actually some of this game.
Talking
behind
disc.
it.
Yeah, we like rotate
There
things
is a
slightly.
live game going on. The GoPro maybe is getting it right now.
That
And
could
second
actually,
footage.
yeah.
Will
There's a
you
lot of
see
things.
those guys dabbing and stuff?
We are
behind us?
actually almost on the
Yes.
field right here. So if we get the right kind of play,
Yeah, we could get a really cool
we'll
angle.
get somebody.
Yeah,
laying
we-
out.
Well, yeah,
Someone
so
yelling
let's
at
talk
us.
Frisbee. Let's talk Frisbee for a minute. Ultimate is technically the name of the game. It's just simply Ultimate, which is super weird because nobody names, what is it, an adverb? Ultimate?
It's an adjective.
Adjective.
Yeah, ultimately would be the adverb.
Ultimate could be
Okay,
a
that's
noun,
fair.
though.
Write in the comments below
also be a
if
noun.
you think ultimate.
Yeah,
is
let's
an
talk
adverb.
about that and talk about just kind of the awkwardness that comes from naming a sport something that's not like an object.
name of the
Like, yeah,
ball.
like there's no, yeah, you could call it flat ball and
Could
it'd be
call it
like,
flat
that would
ball.
be way better because it's like,
Or
it's a
soccer,
disc.
maybe.
Or just
Or
call it disc.
disc,
Li-
yeah.
Like disc is probably the best name.
Disc catchy throwy.
Yeah. Well, then
Throwy catchy
well,
disc.
point being,
Yeah.
leave us a note in the comments. So we're playing Ultimate, not disc golf.
That is the one that it gets confused the most.
Yeah. I mean,
Half
I'm not
of you watching right now think we're talking about disc golf all the way up until this moment.
Also
Frisbee
a solid
football.
game, though.
Frisbee, yeah, tons of fun. I actually played the other week. It was a blast. But Ultimate is a game where it's essentially Frisbee football. You throw it to people. Once you catch it, you have to stop, set a pivot, and then throw it to advance it. You score by throwing it to someone who catches it in an end zone, and that's it. That's essentially the name of the game.
And the most
Um,
unique aspect of this game is
Self-officiation.
it's self-appreciation.
Self-officiation. So, Every game is kind of governed by spirit of the game, which is an interesting rule. It's basically you just have to be a nice person, play by the rules. Everyone should know the rules. No one actually does.
Yeah.
We actually might do we might get some rules like where we take a rule book and ask people around the field.
That would be some good.
What is the rule for this, and
what
this?
happens
Yeah.
if
If you do this,
exactly.
and then I guarantee you it's going to be a 50-50 that people
If
actually know the real rules.
It's a contested foul in the end zone.
Yeah, exactly. What do you do? Where does the disc go? Yeah, so no one's going to know that.
But they'll make it up.
They'll make it up.
Though, I feel
We
like.
could also
Yeah,
ask
we're going to Jimmy
questions,
Kimmel Live that shit.
Like
Just
the way
like
Jimmy Kimmel works. We could ask questions about like the Seattle Cascades that like don't
Exactly.
make any sense. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think of Jimmy Houston coming on to the
bingo. So
being the new coach of the Cascades? Well, I think it's all right.
well, yeah, oh god. What? That's gonna be fun.
They're playing against the Louisiana Chicken Hens. How do you think they're going to do this week?
How do you
That's a
think
good team, though.
Well, yeah, no, that's going to be a great question. It's going to be really in depth. Hopefully, we can get some real analysis from someone from Louisiana on the chicken hens.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ultimate's a crazy sport. It's weird. Frisbee football, throw it around, catch it, toss it. It's kind of its own cult, I would say.
And it's interesting that most people, like the majority of Ultimate players, so to speak, are playing in the version of like with their friends from school or from the church group or from a random gathering in college. They're barefoot. They don't, this is 7-on-7 with boundaries.
Sometimes it's totally random.
A lot of people play, however many people show up, we split them up, we just throw the disc. And there's a lot of like structure in the version when you get competitive. And there's very, very little structure to any other version of Ultimate.
It's a spectrum of sport, really.
Very much so.
Spectrum of sport.
It would be akin to you go to play flag football with a group of people, and they're like, you say, "Oh, who's playing quarterback?" And so we don't have a quarterback per se. And everybody would go, "Well, that doesn't make any sense because we've all watched football. We know how football works. Therefore, we know we need a quarterback, we need a receiver, we need a blocker. Like, it makes sense."
There are certain things that need to be done. And then Ultimate takes that concept
any kind of function.
and is like, well, no. We're going to do it differently.
Right. But
It's the anti-sport.
Competitive Ultimate does have that.
The competitive Ultimate is becoming the sport. I agree. Totally.
Yeah.
I would wholeheartedly, I'm not going to lie. I work out so that I can be better at Ultimate.
True.
Like, I've squatted before. I've deadlifted before. I've done that. Well, I've done that machine where you squeeze the thigh.
Yeah.
Like thigh squeezing,
The Sharon Stone one.
adductor, yeah, and
The
then
solid
also the abduction as well. Like I'm going adduction and abduction in one. Like I'm switching machines at some point. Like and people are looking at me like,
some
wow,
audio here.
that guy's thighs are sweaty, and I'm like, yeah, because I'm working my thighs.
You don't
I'm
wipe
getting
down the
a
machine
super-
afterwards?
No, fuck that, dude. Nobody else wipes the machine. Why should I get on my high horse and like wipe a machine down for a bro
I don't know, just
or a chick?
common gym courtesy.
No.
I think that was a really good point. Of
Gym courtesy is taking a bench and then just standing in front of it while you do bicep curls,
Yeah.
and then keeping your water bottle and towel on that bench, just so that people know that you're working hard.
We never know in case you need to use the bench. What if you gotta sit on it?
Exactly. What do you have to sit down? What if you got to get a quick pec set in?
It
Just get
definitely happened
like
to
a
me
mini
at
pump.
Axiom the last time I was there. Guy
Yeah.
doing bench, but doing like a rotation.
Oh, and he's like, oh, that's my bench.
Also getting on the squat machine. Also doing some sit-ups next to it.
So he's taking up like the three most valuable machines at the gym.
There were 3 benches, all 3 taken. Guys, they had their 3-minute rest in between.
It's only gonna take
Hey,
me an
what
hour,
can you
dude.
do?
Just
Yeah,
relax.
just
So
chill
I
out.
just
Set
sat there.
one.
Instead of working out anything else, I just sat there and looked at them, hoping that they would get the point.
Actually, though, if you look at yourself in the mirror, you get stronger. I've seen it, dude. I've seen like tons of strong guys at the gym are looking at themselves and they're just huge. They're way bigger than I am. So
I think it's
like,
because I spend so much time flexing whenever I'm in front of the mirror
That's
that it
true.
like adds the muscle.
Yeah,
so
Ethan's
just,
a
like,
strong
constantly,
guy.
Like flexing. It's
tell
just
us
like,
about that.
Yeah.
I flex a lot in front of mirrors.
Smart.
It's been adding a lot of muscle mass lately.
What's your average protein intake per day? In the
Ooh, yeah.
in
Do you know
grams?
this? Do you know your numbers?
Oh, actually, I do because I've been keeping track of it lately. I usually do like a protein shake in the morning.
Yeah.
And then
It's like 30 grams.
yeah, 30 grams.
30 to 50 grams.
I do the same thing for breakfast
That's
every
it.
day for. It's not with 30.
And that's it. The rest is yogurt and rice
Yeah,
cakes.
Rice cakes. Ugh.
I really love rice cakes with yogurt on them.
You know your total number?
Yeah, usually try to get around like 75.
Oh, 75.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I actually heard.
It's very different than my last diet.
Oh, what did you do?
I was told to put on weight. I was at 175 pounds, and I was told to put some weight on. I got serious about it. My coach said, "Time, you've got to eat 4,000 calories a day, and you have to eat 220 grams of protein every day."
Oh, fuck. That's a
That
lot.
is way more than your kidneys can handle. That is seriously dangerous, dude.
It is not.
It is actually dangerous.
It is not dangerous.
Oh my God. We'll we
This
should
guy's
crunch the numbers
he's
on
an
that.
EMT. He's a researcher of all things physical.
220.
220 grams of protein. Yes.
Were you just eating like beans pretty much for every meal then? I mean, protein's like relatively easy to get, but I feel like for something that packed,
And we're getting hot.
Uh-oh.
it is getting a little warm out.
Are we still rolling?
Let's see if it blows
Are we
up.
still rolling?
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna have to shut it down.
That's a good start though.
My name's Josh Letzinger. We're here with
Sri Ram Anantakrishnan.
Sri Ram Anantakrishnan, aka Shri. Shri, what
Shri.
is a poll? Define a poll. Give us polling strategy. What are we looking for?
Pull?
Yes.
Just pull from one end zone to the other.
Okay.
And that starts the point.
Okay. Strategy. What are we looking for? Like who's doing
Oh,
what?
you need to make it hang in the air as
Hang
long
in.
as you can.
Okay.
So you can run it down.
Okay. What happens if it lands out of bounds?
Or you have to bring it to the center
Okay.
and start the point
Like the
from
center of the
25,
field. The center of the
25 yard.
field. 25?
25
You
yards.
sure it's not 20?
I don't know. Somewhere in between.
A suit on, but
okay.
what would you like for Christmas, little boy?
Well, we got to introduce the podcast first. My name is Josh Letzinger. This is a big deal.
My name
what
is
I-
Butters. I live in Denver, and
It's kind of a big deal.
I'm kind of a big deal. Yeah.
I'm looking for the White Claws. Where are they?
What are
The
you
White
looking for?
Claws are not part of the show. Get the fuck out of here! Get out of here! Damn it, I think they're out.
Hey, big deal. Will you? We're doing a podcast about Ultimate for this series.
Wait.
Ultimate the
What's
game.
ultimate? Is that where you throw a frisbee into the cage?
Frisbee in a
Is
cage. Yeah.
Frisbee in the cage. And
Can you
like,
explain what the goal in Ultimate is?
The goal in Ultimate, for me personally, is to have a good time.
Okay, so what you're saying is the most fun wins.
Yes, absolutely.
When was that rule officially enacted?
That was enacted in the Spirit Rule of 1983.
Oh, good year.
When I was born, and like this guy just has the most fun, and he's going to
He
be a
should win.
competitor.
He should win.
And it's just like, yeah.
What team are you playing for this weekend?
I am playing for the Devil Wears Keeney, which is why I
Ooh.
look fabulous.
Give me one definition of a foul, and then how you would react to that.
I mean, a foul could be poor sportsmanship.
Okay, and
So I'm gonna say that. Unfortunately, I haven't been playing Ultimate as long, so I can't give a specific one.
Like a strip?
Alright, help us out
One.
here.
I'd say like something like intentional physical contact.
Yeah, like
Intentional
I mean,
physical
holding
contact.
someone, pushing
So we
someone.
just talked
That's
about
not what we want.
We just talked about consent, and I feel like that's also intentional physical contact. What is the difference between fouling and consenting to physical contact?
That is a tough question.
I suppose it depends how much spirit the other team has.
Spirit.
What have you talked about? What are you willing to do? Sometimes you call an intentional strip.
And then
say,
staying
hey,
in within
what
the
do you want to do?
spirited realm. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
Absent of
I love that.
malice.
Absence of malice.
Okay, that's good. That's
So
good.
we're talking about love now.
Oh.
Wait, is that what we were talking about the whole time?
spurting all the
Ultimate
love
is love.
permanently.
Ultimate is love.
Love is
Ultimate is
love.
Love is ultimate. You heard it here
Do
first.
both without malice. It gets lost in translation sometimes, but yeah.
Very good. Excellent.
It's about that. Why did you decide to go to Potlatch last year, now Sunbreak?
Potlatch last year was fucking awesome.
Okay.
It's so I generally prefer beach ultimate
Okay.
for tournaments, but
Hence the California thing, huh?
yeah.
Okay.
But Potlatch, it's just like it never stops. Other tournaments, you know, you go to the fields, you play, then you go back to your Airbnb, you hang out with your team. That's cool. But here, it's like
you just
the
go
whole time.
24/7.
Yeah, it's sick.
Okay.
I just love the energy, the community. It's
Awesome.
great.
Do you love the sandwich?
Sandwich is excellent. I got a pesto chicken yesterday, and I'm back for another today.
Back for one too.
The wieners were tempting.
Well,
but
I've got a big old wiener right here for you if you want. Just a bite though.
For me,
Just a tip.
I would take a bite.
Okay. All right.
In the spirit of this weekend, our team doesn't believe in spiking so much as chicken winging, so we chicken wing after goals.
What is that?
Chicken winging. You got the disc over there.
Grab a disc. Gary, grab a disc.
Oh, that's
All right, Gary, we lost it. Here we go. We got one.
chicken wing there.
So chicken wing. Show us a chicken wing.
So we're gonna chicken wing after goals.
Every goal.
We're gonna chicken wing after. We're gonna chicken wing 4 goals. We've been trying to do that as much as possible.
Oh yeah.
So that's been our motto for the weekend.
That's awesome. And then Gary, will you describe what a scuba is?
Scuba? Oh, it's one of these bad boys.
Okay, what does that mean?
It means it's a great throw to make all the time.
Okay, it's literally the perfect. So you're describing the perfect throw. The perfect throw.
Outside of the chicken wing.
All right, there you have it, folks. We're here with Aaron Ho. Going super hard today. Aaron, tell us about the day.
Today was a great day. Everything's hard from the waist down. So hard.